Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Poppy Britt. Welcome back to another podcast. If it's your first time here, then welcome. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. Thank you so much for making time and space for me. Please do me the biggest favor and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe if you aren't subscribed already on my YouTube. You can look me up at Poppy Britt, or if you're watching on YouTube, literally just go subscribe. Turn on my notifications while you're at it. Give the video a like. It literally costs nothing to support, okay? I'm finally back. I keep saying I want to be consistent, and I literally say this every fucking video. I know I'm so annoying, but I didn't realize it's been 3 weeks. In my defense, this last week I have been super duper sick, so that's my excuse for that. But apart from that, I just really had not been feeling my best. I just feel like retrograde energy. I just was not feeling, I was feeling out of it. I wasn't feeling like the most confident. I haven't been reading or listening to podcasts. I wasn't feeling like too empowered, and it was just like, I know it seems like this doesn't require a lot of work, like just sitting here and yapping, but I promise, sí tiene un poquito de ciencia, what I do when it comes to my podcast. I don't just sit here and bullshit about what I talk about. It's shit that I've actually gone through, process, that I want to, if I say something on here, then I need to be willing to stand on it. So I do a lot of introspection and does this actually resonate with who I am? Do I actually believe this? Am I sticking to just this decision? And so I don't want to just come on here and bullshit, So yeah, I just feel like I wasn't gonna come on the podcast and what do I have to talk about when I'm not feeling my best, or when I don't feel empowered? You know what I mean? What am I gonna come on here and do? People already say all I do is complain. So Mercury retrograde finally ended yesterday. Venus retrograde's about to end. I'm coming to the end of my little Cuaresma, 40-day giving up alcohol, and the Raúl Alejandro concert is coming up. I'm super excited. And I will be finally drinking on that day, but we'll see what I end up doing moving forward. It's about to be springtime. The days are getting longer. The weather's getting warmer. It's just things are starting to bloom. And so, I don't know, I feel way lighter. And maybe it also has to do with the fact that I just haven't been drinking too. But just overall, I just feel like these first 3 months were I really was going through it, but I was planting the seeds. April showers bring May flowers. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm just trying to be patient with myself and continue to show up as much as I can, as often as I can. And I realized it's been 3 weeks already. I don't know where the time goes, but I have this really sweet subscriber who always checks on me. I think he's a trucker, and he always sends me the sweetest messages, and I always feel bad. This was my sign to hop on here and actually record a video today. He said, "Good evening, Brittany. Stopping by. Would like to inquire if it would be possible for you to upload a vlog sometime soon. Seems like it's been a long time. Anyways, thank you for your time. Regards." He's always so proper and so nice. But I realized also, as soon as I start getting hate comments or the troll pages start to pop up, I realize people are starting to miss me, and that's why they're starting to comment again, because they're trying to get a reaction. So I'm back. I've been summoned. The topic is alcohol, and the fact I'm talking about my experience having given up alcohol for Lent. I actually gave up alcohol a couple days before Lent started, so my sobriety started March 3rd, so it's already been 35 days since I gave up alcohol, and I will start drinking again on the 17th. For me, I don't think I want to fully give up alcohol. I like drinking. I like tequila. I like a cute little cocktail. I love me an espresso martini. I like bartending. I like coming up with drinks. I like palomas. I like at parties. I like to entertain. I like to get people lit. I like to make drinks. I like, I like to have a good time. I like to go out. I like to have fun. I love a bottomless mimosa. I like it's a social thing for me. I like to go to games and sit on a rooftop. For me, it really is a social thing, but I think there was a period of time where like I didn't have the healthiest relationship with alcohol. For me, it's not that I'm like saying that alcohol is like awful and I'm like so glad that I gave it up. Nothing like that. Like for me, I had a great fucking time and I had my fun. Hice y deshice. You know, I went to college and I drank there, and after that I was out and about living downtown and I lived my best life and drank when I traveled and whatever. Like I had my fucking fun, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I allowed myself that time to explore and to learn and to grow. But I realized that I got to a point where I was like, my hangovers were just getting way worse, and I just would start to get the worst anxiety, where it would last a week and I would just cringe at the things I did and the things I said, and I just felt like shit the next day, and I would just eat like shit and be ordering DoorDash and for food I wouldn't even eat, and just like feeling like an absolute piece of shit, even though like I wasn't doing anything bad or like harmful to anyone. I was literally just going out and having fun, but like I just felt like such a like piece of shit, and I was like, I'm literally doing this to myself continuously. And like obviously drinking is fun, like I had a great fucking time, like I said, I enjoyed it, but like it gets to a point where it was just like the negatives were starting to outweigh the positives. Like I realize now that I gave up alcohol, like how much lighter I feel, like how much more energized I feel, how much better I feel. And like I'm grateful that like I wake up the next day not feeling like shit or regretting my choices or having anxiety, and I actually have the energy to go to the gym. I don't just waste my day rotting in bed, you know? It just like overall has made me feel so much better. For me, alcohol has always just been like a social thing, and so I just didn't realize, like since I turned 21, let's say, I don't think there's been a time where I went a whole month without drinking. This is the first time I've ever done that. I kept telling myself it was going to be hard, and so I think that's what kind of kept me from doing it. Looking back at me a year ago, I was in such a different place and such a different person, and I just want to give her a hug because I know that she was doing her best and coping as well as she could, and literally trying as much as she could. So I don't resent myself at all for anything that I did, and I don't take anything back. And I have so many people that have tried to shame me for anything I've done or whatever, and it's like I honestly, again, I have so much grace for myself now because I know that every single thing that I went through and everything that I did was for a reason, and I'm grateful because it all led me to this point now, to me feeling happy and empowered, and to finally being able to complete a 30-day sobriety period, because there was so many times where I kept telling myself like, oh yeah, I need to give up alcohol, or like I'm never drinking again, and then I would end up drinking. And it's like, okay, at what point does it become like, it just becomes like you become a joke basically? Like if I can't commit to what I say, then what can I commit to? Like if I can't commit to myself, how do I expect other people to commit to me? Like if I can't commit to not drinking for God, then who am I gonna do it for? You know, like if I can't do it for myself, what is this all for? And it's something as simple as fucking alcohol. Like it shouldn't be that hard, but it really is, especially when you're like, I was in the service industry, and it just becomes so normalized, but also just living downtown, and it just becomes such a social thing. Like it really is everywhere. But I just want to get to a point where I have like a healthy relationship, because I don't think alcohol is bad. Like I don't think it's the root of all evil, but I do think that like a lot of bad things can come from it, and there's ways to use it in a positive way and there's ways to use it in a negative way. And so I'm trying to learn more positive ways and healthier ways to utilize alcohol. For example, like, you know, if to celebrate, like we have a baby shower coming up for my cuñada, and you know, as Mexicans, we are gonna drink at any given family party, even a fucking baby shower. So in that instance, like, yes, I'm allowed to have a couple drinks with my family, with my aunts, with my cousins, with my dad, like with the family and the people that I love and that I trust, to celebrate, to be, you know, in community. Like, yes, that's good and that's healthy. It's not a sin to fucking drink. It's sinful when it becomes hurtful towards other people, towards yourself, when it's jeopardizing your wellness in any capacity or your relationships with people. That's when it becomes unhealthy. God's first miracle was turning water into wine. Like, literally, he used to be at fucking parties. He used to be lit. Drinking is not a bad thing. It's just doing it in excess, or where you lose yourself, where you're no longer conscious. That's when it becomes an issue, because that's when you lose control of yourself. That's when you start saying dumb shit. You start doing dumb shit, and you start doing things that you're going to regret the next morning and that are going to make you feel like a piece of shit. That's when it becomes a problem. And that's basically where I was at. And again, I'm not saying I was doing anything bad, but I ended up feeling like so bad the next day because I had the worst hangover. I felt like shit. I didn't get up to go to the gym because of it. And I just knew better. Like, I know better than to stay out late as fuck for no reason. I know better than to take fucking 10 shots of tequila, you know? But I wasn't doing better. This year, I literally told myself, like, if I want better, then I need to do better. And I realized that, like, everything that I had been doing was apparently not working. Going out with people that didn't give a fuck about me wasn't getting me anywhere. And although drinking made me feel better about my problems, or made me forget about my problems, it didn't make them go away. I want to be able to go out and still remember my night. Like, I want to live a life I fucking remember, and I want to live a life that I'm not constantly running away from. I think this is another instance of, like, me being able to see exactly why God did what he needed to do, and why he removed me from Denver, why I finally had to move, why I finally had to leave and be taken, literally physically removed, because I feel like if I had continued to live in Denver, I would have continued to end up back in the same groups with the same people, because it really is always the same people all the time, always going out. And like, it's made me realize, like, I used to have the worst FOMO in the entire world. I was scared that once I moved, I would end up having like the worst FOMO and just be so miserable and so lonely. And I realized, like, anytime I'm feeling FOMO, it's really because I am way too wrapped up in someone else's energy, watching someone else's stories, seeing whatever anyone else is posting, and not wrapped up in my energy and what I need to be doing. I ended up not going to opening day because I had been sick and just had a lot of signs telling me not to go. Plus, the weather was really bad. It was supposed to be cold, and I'm not drinking, so I just felt like it was just not going to be a good combination with so many drunk people around me. So I decided to stay home, and I literally had the worst fucking FOMO of my entire life. But then I had to remind myself, like, people literally will post them at their best. So yes, they're gonna take a selfie or a video of them having a great fucking time, but they're not gonna post when they were outside freezing in the cold, or how they got sick the next day, or how they spent all this money that they shouldn't have, or how they ended up blackout drunk, or how they ended up having to miss work the next day because they felt like shit, or how they ended up in the corner outside of U House crying, yelling at their ex because they saw them with someone else. Like, they're not gonna post that shit. They're not gonna post the negative. They're gonna post them having a fine dandy time, and that's what most people do all the time. Now that I go out when I'm sober, I'm able to see more clearly kind of what demons people are fighting, and what it is that I too was running away from, and like, moving forward, what I don't want to do, what I don't want to look like, what I don't want to act like, what I want to process so that I'm not drunk crying about it and trauma dumping when I'm drunk. I want to have a clear mind so that when I'm drinking, it's not a time where I'm te estoy diciendo mis verdades. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people use alcohol as an excuse to say shitty things, do shitty things, but it's like, no, that's like your subconscious of shit that you haven't processed. So how about you process it instead of using alcohol to cope? And a lot of times I was like going out and drinking like with people who really did not give a shit about me. I was over here like overextending myself and going out and putting myself in certain situations where I didn't need to for other people. I really had to take a step back and be like, is this what I want for myself? Like, no, I want a good relationship with my family. I want to show up as my best self for my family and for myself. I want to feel my best and I want to look my best, and I want to put forth effort so my future self can thank me. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent, and I kept making excuses. I kept saying like, oh, well, I have this baby shower or I have this event coming up. Always going to be an excuse to drink. There's always going to be an excuse to do whatever, but that doesn't mean that you have to do that. There's this saying that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. I think that also goes for like, you don't have to attend every outing you're invited to. You don't have to take every shot you're given. You don't have to engage in every conversation that's presented to you. I really don't know what it's gonna look like moving forward. I think I'm gonna limit it to just like special events or family events or birthdays and travel, but I really just do hope to build a better relationship with alcohol. You more than likely are going to regret drinking. You're never going to regret not. It all just comes down to your own self-worth. It comes down to your ability to set up boundaries, to stick to what you say, to become the person that you want, and to really be serious about who you want to be. And it takes a lot of reflection and being like so fucking for real with yourself. And it really does take a lot of willpower to be sober. So I really do give so much kudos to the people who are sober. I can definitely say that these last 30 days have been really eye-opening, and I hope to continue to have like a better relationship with alcohol and more balance with it all. Like I said, I don't think alcohol is bad, but I really just think it's a reflection of everything in my life, not just setting boundaries with alcohol, but also setting boundaries with people and with myself. Not just learning to say no to alcohol, but saying no to people and saying no to myself when I need to. It just pours into every aspect of your life, and I think there's a lot to learn from it. So if you're considering being sober, even just for 30 days, I highly encourage it. And if you do it, let me know how it goes for you and what you learn and reflect on. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.